Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Have you ever looked at a price tag and just wondered why? Why does a brand new phone cost a fortune right at launch? Or why is your favorite snack priced at that weirdly specific $2.99? Well, spoiler alert, those numbers are anything but random. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and unlock the powerful strategies behind the prices we see every single day.
So let's kick things off with a quote from Henry Ford that kind of turns common sense on its head. When he said this, he wasn't just talking about making cars cheaper. No, he was revealing a huge secret about business. Price isn't always the result of what something costs to make. Sometimes the price is the very thing that forces the cost down. This idea completely changes a simple price tag from just a number into a seriously powerful strategic weapon.
All right, first things first, we need to get this key idea straight. A price tag is communicating way more than just what you have to pay.
Think about it. Out of everything a company does to market a product, the ads, the packaging, the logo, price is the only one that directly brings in the cash. But it's also a powerful signal, right? If you price something too high, you might just scare people off. But if you price it too low, people might think, what's wrong with it? Is it cheap? It's this incredibly delicate balancing act.
So how in the world do companies get that balance right? Well, it turns out that pretty much any pricing decision, whether it's for your morning coffee or a brand new jet airplane, boils down to just three fundamental things.
And here they are. We call them the 3 C's of pricing: cost, competition, and the customer. It's a really simple framework, but it is incredibly powerful. Seriously, if you remember just one thing from this explainer, make it these 3 words. They are the keys to unlocking basically any pricing strategy you'll ever come across.
Okay, first up is cost. This is the obvious one, right? A company has to cover its bills to stay in business, so its costs create a sort of price floor. You can't go below it for long. But, like Henry Ford hinted, that is not the whole story. For instance, when companies wanted to make super low-cost radios for the Indian market, they didn't start by building a radio and then adding up the costs. Nope. They started with the price tag they knew people could afford, and only then did they work backward to figure out, okay, how do we design and build a radio that can hit that cost?
All right, let's move on to the second C, competition. The kind of market you're playing in has a massive impact on your pricing power. If you're a monopoly, hey, you're the only game in town. You set the price. But in an oligopoly, where you have just a few big players, think of Zomato and Swiggy in the food delivery space, they are watching each other like hawks. If one of them cuts prices, you can bet the other is going to follow suit almost immediately. Your competitor's price becomes this powerful anchor that you just can't ignore.
And now for our final C. And this is where things get really fascinating: the customer. I mean, usually the rule is simple. Price goes up, demand goes down. But what about luxury goods? Think about diamonds or high-end watches, things with that snob appeal. For these items, a higher price can actually signal so much quality or exclusivity that it makes more people want to buy it. It's wild. This is why, at the end of the day, what a customer thinks a product is worth is the ultimate price ceiling.
Okay, so we've got our 3 C's in our toolkit: cost, competition, and customer. Now let's see how they actually help a company choose the right pricing method for the job. So let's look at 2 totally different ways to go about this. First, there's cost plus pricing. This is the simplest way. You just figure out your costs, add on a slice for profit, and boom, there's your price. It's safe, it's easy, but it totally ignores what customers are willing to pay and what your competitors are doing. On the other hand, you've got marginal cost pricing. This is way more aggressive. Here, you're only worried about making sure your price covers the cost of making just one more item. This gives you incredible flexibility to get into price wars and really compete.
And this is exactly why understanding that customer, C, is so critical. Just take a look at this. At a price of $23, this company sells 40,000 units and banks about $540,000 in profit. Not bad. But watch what happens as they drop the price. By the time they get down to just $20, they're selling 70,000 units. And look at that profit. It's jumped all the way to $735,000. So which price would you choose? It's a no-brainer, right? The highest price is absolutely not the most profitable one. That $20 price point is the clear winner here. This just proves a super important point. Maximizing your price and maximizing your profit are 2 totally different things. The real secret sauce is knowing just how sensitive your customers are to a price change.
But here's the thing. Pricing isn't a one-and-done decision. Not even close. A product's price has to change, it has to evolve through its entire life. I mean, most products go through this classic life cycle. They get introduced, then sales take off and grow like crazy. After a while, things mature and growth slows down. Then the market gets saturated, sales flatten out, and eventually they start to decline. Now, you can probably guess that the pricing strategy that works wonders in the beginning would be a total disaster by the end.
This means, right at the beginning when you launch a product, you have this huge choice to make. Do you use a skimming strategy? Start with a really high price to make maximum profit from all the early adopters who have to have it? Or do you go for penetration? You start low to grab as much of the market as you can, as fast as you can. And your decision? Well, it comes right back to our three friends, the 3 C's. How unique is your product? How tough is the competition? And how will customers react? And you want a killer example of price skimming? Here it is. In 1945, the very first ballpoint pen hit the market for $12.50. That's over $200 in today's money. Its production cost was just 80 cents. Because it was a revolutionary product with absolutely zero competition, the makers could charge a massive premium and just skim the cream right off the top of the market. Incredible!
So the next time you're out shopping and you see a price tag, don't just see a number, see the strategy behind it. Use the 3 C's as your guide and ask yourself, is this price about the company's cost? Is it about its competition? Or is it really all about me, the customer? Once you start asking that question, I promise you'll see the whole world of business in a brand new light. Thanks for joining us.